Yeah. So we pull up in the city, my nigga, we just watching over this goals and shit is so crazy. And you like, yo. 10-20 blind, 10-20, 10-20 blind.
My name is Siyabonga Malawi.
Siyabonga.
I'm well known as Garry Ty. Garry Ty is my rap name. So that's what I'm currently using. That's how people know me. Garry Ty. Sure, Garry Ty. Many people mistake it for Garry T. They say it's Garry T. I don't like that. It's like Garry Ty, my feet, and then Kabat. I'm trying to be famous out here. Come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is Siyabonga. I'm from Free State. I'm from Free State in a town called Valkom. Shout out to 057. I was born and raised in Valkom. I've pretty much spent most of my life in Valkom. I've never actually stayed anywhere besides that. So yeah, I mean Valkom has been like where I stayed my entire life. I grew up there. My family, my grandparents, my dad, my mom lived like in Valkom. So that's pretty much where I've spent my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very notorious place, I would say. You see, it's a very notorious place because many people, when you mention Valkom, they think about Bumabuto and stuff like that, you know, and which is in most cases like the truth, because like Valkom is a very rough place. You got gangsters over there, man, and it's not so much of a pleasant place to stay at if you don't wash your back and then you don't wash your mouth, you know? So that's how I've been. That's the kind of environment I grew up with. You see, I grew up around. You see, like you know thugs, you know, people getting stabbed out of like nowhere and stuff like that. Man, that's what I've lived, I've seen, and I know. You see.
All right.
But besides the infamous part of Valkom. Besides that, man, Valkom has a very crazy, insane talent, man. You see, not just from like music, but from every part of entertainment. You know, Valkom has this insane talent, and then it's like this vibey, nice place to be around. Yeah, it's just like Valkom is a very nice place. Garry Ty is a rapper. He's far fetched from Siyabonga. Siyabonga is a very chill guy, and then Garry Ty is this sort of, I don't want to say aggressive person. He's like in it for winning it, you see. So that's who Garry Ty is. Garry Ty is a great rapper. Very vicious one, I would say, but not really. Garry Ty is a womanizer. I would say Garry Ty is a womanizer. Garry Ty is what many people I think would like to call controversial. Yeah. So that's Garry Ty for you guys. What made me love hip hop? It's actually insane because I remember how it happened, like how it literally actually happened. So when I was growing up, I was introduced to like house music. You know, when you grow up, it's like when I grew up, it was like that. You get introduced to house music, and then like so. I used to be like, I used to jive with it. I was like that, you know. So this one time, I remember there was this guy who used to at my grandma's place, because that's where I grew up at the time. At my grandma's place, and he used to live like 5 houses from my house. And then one day, I went to his place because that's what I normally did, you know, Singapore fan and just playing around. And then I go one day, and then he's with his friends, and then they have a CD. I think it is like these CDs they used to call the empty CDs. Yeah, those empty CDs you used to there. Those empty CDs you used to have, and then you go to someone and then they like write something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's those like empty CDs, and then they playing them, and then I see a lot of videos. They like hip hop kinda. You see those Bow Wow,
Yeah.
old Lil Wayne. You see Ludacris, Birdman, Rick Ross. They playing these music videos, and I'm in my mind. I'm thinking, man, what the fuck is this, dude? These niggas are cool. You see, like they riding in Lambos, they riding in like yachts. Man, there's like helicopters. I'm like, nigga, is this a movie or what? You see?
Yeah.
And then there's one particular artist that stood out for me that there was Lil Wayne. The way he carried himself, man. He was like, what the fuck, man? Who does this nigga think he is with tats on his face and all that shit, man? And he's so confident and he's like doing his thing out there. And then at that instant, I loved hip hop like wholeheartedly. And then from there, the person that I started like going out for videos. Man. I started checking music for myself. I started downloading music for myself. I started buying my own like MTCs, and people wanting to actually going to people to write music for me, and then like music videos, and going at my crib to like play them and see actually. Then you start mimicking these songs and you rapping after Lil Wayne. You see, like yeah, shawty like the lollipop. You see those type of things. So that's how my love for hip hop grew. It was just like basically that, watching videos of like artists like Lil Wayne, Bow Wow, and Ludacris, all those type of artists. Yeah. Growing up for me was normal like me. I had a like normal childhood like any other kid, I think. But what I've experienced a lot. I've experienced a lot of abuse in my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily physically, but emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up with my grandparents after my mom died in 2003, I think. Yeah, I was like 5 years or 4, not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when my mom passed away, and then I was left with my dad. And then my dad instantly took us to my grandparents because he couldn't raise us. He was like working and then he was staying alone in the school. So my grandparents raised me, dog. Yo, shout out to my grandparents. They both passed away. My granddad just passed like last year, and then my grandma passed like 2 years back.
Yeah,
and
bro.
those people raised me. Wherever you are, you watching this, yo, thank you so much, yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, so those are the people that raised me, my grandmom and my grandparents, and I'm thankful for them. So my dad was this abusive person towards my mom at the time. I was young, but I could still remember a glimpse like of those memories and stuff. So my dad was a very abusive person. He was abusive emotionally. Like growing up, he wasn't really there for me, I would say. He wasn't really there for me, like school-wise. Like, yo, dog, how are you? Are you fine? You sharp? Or like, where he needed to be, yo. He wasn't like. But then I'm okay. I'm cool now with him. I'm not even angry at him for like all those things, man. I'm just cool with it because now I'm trying to get my life right. I'm trying to invite the positive vibes into my life, and then I'm trying to build something that's great for me. Yeah. So growing up was very fun, man. It was normal, except the fact that the other kids used to bully me and stuff like that, and I couldn't like defend myself at the time. Yeah, that was fucked up. Yo, guys, if you're watching this, I'm coming for you. Which rappers influenced me to make music? The first ever rapper that had influence in my like love for hip hop was Lil Wayne. He was like basically the fundamental influence of my hip hop. I remember listening to one of his famous projects. It was the Carter 3, I think. The Carter 3 is really like, that was one of my best albums I've ever listened to. Like hip hop wise. And then from there on, it was artists like Drake. Drake also had like the biggest influence in my love for hip hop. Kanye West, definitely Kanye West. Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick Lamar had the biggest like influence in me wanting to rap. I remember being introduced to one of his projects with Kid Metheny. That was back in high school in grade 9. That was like magic. Yeah, shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Besides hip hop, I would say musicians that had influenced my music life, that would be locally wise, that would be Mazola 7, I think. Zola 7, Mendoza, Casper also influenced me. Like now, not like now, yeah. Casper is an OG. Shout out to Casper. And then so many of them, how did I meet Wildkash? The first time I met Wildkash, it was in Northwest Babu. Yeah, complex. Where he used to work. So the person that linked us up, it was my brother. Hooligan. That was the person that linked us up. So one day I was passing by Go Complex and then I want pizza like, hey Joe, sure, pizza sharp. So I was asking myself, who's this nigga now calling me Insang and team with bra? So now So he just called me and he was like, yo dog, I heard you rap and stuff, you should come up for studio sometime, you should make something. And I was like, yeah dog, I understood you bro, because I have always been open to work with anyone. So I was like, yeah, I want to get that, you want to that's why span it down. So okay, she made a song, it was called You Day. I remember that was the first project we ever made. It was New Day. Oh, I mean New Friends. It was New Friends, I mean New Friends. That's the first project we ever made. It was epic though. From there on, like being unstoppable, we've been making music, and it has been fun ever since. My plans for the future of my music, or our plan with our music for the future is that, man, we just make money out of this shit. First and foremost, we just want to make money out of this shit. Man, I want us to be the most influential rappers in Africa in 5 years' time. I want us to be the people kids look at and be like, yo, these niggas are making money out of this, and they inspire us to be independent out of this. In 5 years' time, I want us to be filling up arenas like worldwide, man, out of this music shit and making it like nobody's business. Other than that, man, just giving people good music always. Number one in the spot, music controller. We not fear, we got quite smoking ganjola. Show me live, they do me solid. On my day was be aching funny. Now my attitude be getting conny. Now my music, it been the